Hello everyone, TMAGamer here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you another one of my Dota 2 hero guides. And as you can see today, I'm going to be focusing on Lion. Now Lion is a really good disabler. You see him most of the time being played as a support, either 4th or 5th position, although occasionally you can see him play mid in a few situational matchups. Whenever you're up against somebody who really just rely on their intelligence and their mana pool, you can put Lion mid to drain their mana and basically annoy them out of lane, which is one of his strengths. But most of the time you do see him played as a support, and one of the reasons why is because he is an absolutely fantastic disabler. He's one of the best disablers in the game, and he also has an incredible nuke. You know, one of the highest single target nukes out there. He can absolutely blow people up at any stage of the game, and he actually fits with my playstyle really well, because I quite enjoy playing support. You know, you've seen me play carries on this series before. You know, I do like to play a variety of roles, but I'm quite happy playing support. And Lion really does fit with my playstyle, because I enjoy playing heroes who have an impact throughout the game, and Lion is really good at level 1, and you see there's actually quite a prolonged scrap at the bottom lane that's going to be coming up in a few seconds. But I've started the game, I've roamed top, giving our off lane Doom a bit of protection with that ward, and now I'm going to roam bottom. And unfortunately, right off the bat, you know, the enemy Ursa has actually picked up a haste rune, and this is absolutely terrifying for a squishy support like Lich who can't get away. I'm going to do my best here to get over and stun him to try and save him, but you can see that the Fury swipes have already begun to stack up, and he's already one hit away from death, and there's not a lot you can do there. Your Invoker roams over and just has a little bit of a look, and then decides to go back to lane, and it's not looking good for Scribbles, our sniper here, but I'm still just tickling away. Stun the Ursa. Again, you do not want to let Ursa get into melee range of that sniper, because sniper is not going to get away, and then they realise they've perhaps overstayed their welcome a little bit, and they start to back up. And this fight goes on for a bit of time here, so I'm not going to start talking about the skills just yet. Let's keep talking about the fight. You know, I'm still tickling away at Shadow Demon here, because I thought he would be the easier kill. I didn't actually realise that Sniper was still pursuing Ursa, so I see Shadow Demon back up, and then in chat goes, you know, Scribbles, where have you gone? What's happening? So I have to go here and help him out. Lich by this time has respawned, so we're already beginning to hit in, and you see there, excellent stun again. One of the great things about this stun is that you have enough mana early to use it several times. You start off with that 300 mana pool with that Ironwood branch, tickling him down, and you can see there, level 1, I was able to stay in conflict for a long time. I threw 3 stuns, and we actually managed to get a kill, and we're still scrapping here. We're tickling this Ursa out of lane, forcing him backwards. And this is the utility of Lion, you know, excellent disables. Unfortunately, I couldn't get there fast enough to keep the Lich alive, but I managed to stun Ursa a couple of times to keep him out of range of the sniper, and in the end we managed to pick up a kill. Unfortunately, we miscoordinated our right clicks. I was trying to make sure that I right clicked to get, you know, him down low enough for sniper to finish him off and get the kill. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and our Doom dies to a Bane Slark, which is a really annoying lane to deal with as a Doom. But not a bad start there, not a bad start. So let's talk a little bit about Earthspike. You've already seen it in use. It is a very useful stun. At level 1 it does 60 damage and it stuns for 1.02 seconds. It's a little bit of a strange time to stun, but I'll explain why. What happens whenever you stun somebody with Earthspike? The enemy heroes actually get knocked, and that is a great little block with the illusions there from Shadow Demon. It disrupts him, the illusions block him into the trees, and he can't escape from Ursa. So it's been a little bit of a shaky start to this game, but the reason why it's a 1.02 second stun is because whenever you cast Earthspike and it hits an enemy hero, they are knocked up in the air for 0.52 seconds, and then when they land, the rest of the stun duration happens. So at level 1, they're knocked up in the air for 0.52 seconds, and then when they land, they are stunned for another half a second. So that's why that number's a little bit strange. And the scaling, basically it's an extra half a second stun per level, going up to 2.52 seconds at max level and 260 damage. And this is an absolutely fantastic stun, and you know, the reason why we put a sentry down there is because I was going to wrap around Shadow Demon to try and tickle him, and then as soon as I walked up, he backed up. So it looked really obvious that there was a ward there, and that's one of the things you need to be paying attention to. If you run at a guy when you're not in vision, and then you go, oh, he's backed up for no reason, you know, that's pretty much a tell. And you can see there, hit 2 heroes with a stun. I try and body block Ursa again just to keep him in range of the sniper, and we get the kill. And I actually skilled Hex at level 2 there, because I was being ultra careful to make sure that we kept Ursa in range of the sniper, which was probably going to be happening, but skilling that Hex, which is his second disable, you know, just in case. But you know, you could argue getting a mana drain up at level 1 But again, so much action here, I'm getting distracted from the skill builds. It's just the great thing about Lion is from really early in the game you can get involved in these fights, and this is why he's one of my favourite heroes. The great thing about Earth Spike is it only has a 500 range, but you can actually cast this on the ground as well as casting it on heroes, which is very, very useful. And it has a length of the spikes of 825, which is incredibly useful. So, like you saw in that fight there, I managed to stun 2 heroes. I stunned both the Shadow Demon and the Ursa, so I stopped the Shadow Demon from defensively disrupting the Ursa, keeping Ursa alive, enabling our sniper to get the kill, and very, very useful. Great thing about it as well, because it has that 825 range, you can hit people from a long, long way away. Even if they're outside of the cast range, the spikes extend even further and you can stun multiple people. And the spikes actually have, and that was just an absolutely abysmal stun there. I was expecting to come back into the creep wave, so I was putting the stun in ready and completely whiffed it. So that's the first whiffed stun of the game, but overall, pretty successful start. Yeah. Good thing about the spikes, like I've been mentioning before, I'm so rudely cut off by all this fighting. The spikes have a 125 radius of effect. So in reality, you can stun people for almost 1,000 range. And 950 range away, you can stun people. So that is a huge area of effect for this stun. And like I said, at max level, you are stunning them for 2.5 seconds. An AoE 2.5 second stun, which does 260 damage at level 4, is incredibly powerful, and this is why you normally max Earth Spike first. It is incredibly, incredibly effective. Unfortunately, the mana cost does go up as you scale it from 100 to 170, and the cooldown always stays at 12 seconds. So when you're stunning it, when you're leveling it, your stun goes higher and you get a bit more damage, but you do pay for that in terms of the mana cost. So that's what you need to be a little bit wary of early levels. Keep an eye on your mana. The second skill is Hex, and I actually have a unique item here, because if you haven't noticed, I managed to get the Immortal Lion item, which has just come out in the international chest, the TI4 chest, and it has a special animation. We do see this Ursa roaming in our jungle here, and we are trying to find him, but again, you saw very, very early on in that level 1 engagement, we don't want to get caught out here, especially the Lich. If I get caught out, it's not the end of the world, because I can Earth Spike, I can Hex and run away. But you don't want to get that Lich caught, because he can't escape from an Ursa, and that amount of melee damage is absolutely terrifying at this stage of the game. But Hex, second skill, very, very useful. It's an instant cast skill, which is very useful. You see a lot of disables in the game have a cast time, or a cast point, or a very, very awkward to land in certain situations. Hex is instant, so as soon as you click on a guy, they are stunned. At level 1, and we see this Slark walk straight into our sentry here. Stack my stuns a little bit there, but see, I drain his mana, try and stop him orbing away. Unfortunately, he just gets away, and that was a little bit of bad play from me there. I did slightly stack my stun. I probably could have had another half a second of stun there for the mana draining, but Invoker's still coming in and should be able to do some work here. Stun the Ursa again. Keeping Ursa away from our melee heroes or from any hero is vital, because the amount of damage that he can do. Does this Lich live? Lich actually lives here, and Sniper's just wailing on him in the background. Land another stun, and there we go. Excellent engagement. We kill 4 heroes. Lich does die. Lich does die to the Shadow Poison in the end. I thought he did. I was going to say, he did very, very well to live that long. But again, you see the utility of Earth Spike. It has a relatively short cooldown. I managed to use it twice in that fight. I stunned the Ursa to keep him away from my heroes. Kept him alive. Kept the Doom alive there. Kept Invoker from taking too much damage. So when we killed off Ursa, they were still comfortably over half health. We could go back in and re-engage. And in the second half of the fight, I stunned the Shadow Demon, stopped him from running away, guaranteed another kill there. So very, very useful. And I'm already level 5, 8 minutes in. Got a nice amount of gold. I've had a great start. 2-0-4, 8 minutes in. And I haven't had to do any roaming. One of the good things about Lion is he's very, very good at roaming. Like I mentioned, he's got a stun which can hit people from 950 units away, which is a really long range stun. When you think about Fisher's an incredibly long range stun, and that's only just over 1,000 length. So Lion's Earth Spike is actually a lot longer range than people give it credit for. So that's very useful, and the Hex on top of that. But I haven't even had to move out a lane. We've had so much action here. I've had to protect the Sniper, because early levels Sniper is just slow and fat, and he can't really escape from anybody. So it's very, very vital to me just sitting here protecting him. And we do see Bane and Shadow Demon here, and we're thinking about having a roam behind him. We've had Lich come round into lane, and I'm still desperately trying to click on Bane here, and you saw me trying to click on him to get his inventory up. Because that's a very, very strange thing for him to do. He just wandered into the jungle there, stood about here for no reason, and then immediately ran away. And this is actually quite a common ward spot. You know, people can just drop a ward there if they don't want to risk roaming into the jungle too far. So we were just trying to click on Bane to see if he was carrying any wards, and it turned out that he didn't put any down. So that was quite useful. But again, I'm getting distracted from these skills because there's so much action. And talk about Hex again. Hex starts off at a 2.5 second stun, lasts up to 4 seconds, scaling 0.5 seconds per level. Very, very self-explanatory. It costs 125 mana to start with, scaling up to 200 at max level. But the great thing about it, when you level it up, the duration goes down, starting at 30 seconds, which is a really, really long duration, going down to 12 at max level. And you see some Lion builds, they max Earth Spike, they possibly get 2 points in mana drain, and they don't pick up a point in Hex until possibly level 7. Now, I don't like that. I always think it's really worth picking up a value point, and Slark already has a Blink Dagger there. That is a terrifyingly early time. But you see again, time my hexes right, and we just kill the Slark. And I actually managed just to blow him up there completely with Finger of Death, and it's really, really important when you're up against a Slark just to kill that guy. Kill that guy super early. And again, pop to Clarity, I've popped to Salve, just seeing what I can get accomplished here. Again, managed to stun the Slark. We do know the Ursa ran into Side Shop, and we do drop the shrapnel there, just wondering where he is, and we do come over to try and spot him. Invoker actually runs into him, and see, I'm just mana draining him, making sure he can't do anything cheeky, and we get another kill. So again, very, very successful lane engagement. The Slark is still sticking around here, not sure what he's doing. I managed to get the Hex up, stop him from getting away, and he dies. See, again, very, very useful thing about Hex. Like I mentioned, it's an instant cast. You know, Puck tried to do the phase shift orb away to escape. I hexed him straight away, so I stopped him from doing that. We managed to just put all of the damage down, and we throw another Doom out on the Shadow Demon here. So what are these heroes doing? They know there are 4 of us bottom. We've just had a fight. Puck's overstayed his welcome far too long, and Slark's re-engaging here again. What is he doing? I'm desperately waiting for enough mana to come up. I just about get my Hex in, hex him up, and unfortunately I couldn't mana drain enough to stop him from pouncing away. But Bane even wastes his Fiend's Grip here, and the fight is still going on. Dream Coil dropped, and I look super boned here. Super, super boned. And there we go. That's the first death. And this has been complete and total carnage. You know, there's been 23 kills in 11 minutes here. It's just been an absolute bloodbath on this bottom lane. But you're beginning to see just how effective Lion is. You know, early game, I've got so many kills for my team and for myself just by stunning at the right time, hexing people, keeping that instant disable for cheeky people like Slark and Puck, stopping them from getting away. And I managed to blow up the Slark with my final skill, which is Finger of Death. But before I get onto that, let's talk a little bit about Mana Drain. Mana Drain is a channeled ability which, as you saw, enables you to drain mana. It's very, very simple. The clue's in the title. It starts off with a 10 mana cast point and stays that way all the time, so you do need 10 mana to actually cast this spell, so bear that in mind. Don't completely waste your mana and then expect to be able to drain it back up. Channels for 5 seconds. Mana per second goes up from 20 at level 1 to 120 at level 4, so you get quite a lot of mana drained with this skill. It is very, very useful. It will continually drain mana whilst the enemy is in vision or they stay within 1200 range. And we do put the sentry down expecting a ward here, but unfortunately it's just out of range. That was a slightly dodgy sentry place on my point there. So we do miss that ward, unfortunately, but we did think there was one there, and it's just a little bit of bad placing. Mana drain is absolutely vital because, as you can see, Earth Spike at level 4 is now costing me 170 mana. My level 1 Hex is costing me 125 mana. It scales up to 200. And my level 1 Finger of Death costs me 200 mana. So you require a huge amount of mana as Lion. And you don't really want to get Arcane Boots. And I'll come onto the item build a little bit after the skills. But you have a huge amount of mana. So Mana Drain is very, very useful for picking up that little bit of extra mana to help you stay in engagements longer. And we pick up another kill here against this Bane, I think. So I'm just waiting for him to TP in. I've got my Hex ready, and he does actually TP in the end. There we go. Hex him up. Wait for the Hex to go. Hit him with a stun, and I just immediately blow him up. And that Slark is dead. And you just saw exactly what I was able to do there. I stunned a guy, kept him out of the fight for a huge amount of time, and with a few right clicks and help from Sniper, we just blew this guy up. And now this Bane's going to die. Easy peasy. Absolutely easy peasy. And this is a really dead Shadow Demon here. And there's the full team wipe, and we actually force Ursa to... I think he comes back, but that was a little bit of a rage moment there. But full team wipe. And mana drain, very, very useful for keeping my mana pool up there. I went into that fight at full mana, which meant I could get a full combo off and more. But in fights when you start at less than full mana, having that ability to drain mana from enemy heroes is very, very useful. And the great thing is as well, if you didn't know this, and a lot of new players don't, range creeps actually have their own mana pool. So you can use this ability to drain mana. And unfortunately, Invoker does get picked off. He was standing there on very, very low health, and... Oh, that was a great disruption there. That disruption saved him. The Dream Coil is used. And there's the death. And we overstayed our welcome there. And our Invoker saying, just let it end. Black belt with his troll, as always. We overstayed our welcome a little bit there. And we actually very nearly get the courier killed. I have no idea what the courier was doing there. But it was speed boost to safety, fortunately. Puck blinked into the trees to try and kill it. And just missed it, which is fortunate for us. But... having that mana drain is very, very useful to drain enemies' mana, keep your mana pool topped up. Again, heroes like Puck, they rely on their mana a lot. They're all about casting spells. So if you can drain their mana once you've stunned them, stop them from getting off a big ability, that is absolutely vital in a team fight to keep your heroes alive, to stop enemy heroes from having an impact. And we have a Doom thrown out there on the Puck, I think. There we go. Doom looks in a lot of trouble. Just wait, stun the Slark, wait for him again. Just desperately trying to keep him alive here. This Slark is really going for this kill. Get the stun down. He's used his ultimate, so he has no escape here. And Doom got an RNG Invis rune anyway, so there was no way he was going to get. And ooh, that tornado was close to Bane. But that's enough on mana drain. Let's talk about Finger of Death. And you've already seen me use this because I've had such a good game to start with. I'm already 4-2-8, which is really, really good to have this amount of impact early. So I've already been able to use Finger of Death twice, and this is one of the most powerful single target nukes in the game. At level 1, it already does 600 damage, which is a huge, huge amount of damage. If we have a look at the enemy heroes here, let's have a look at Puck. He's only on 948 hit points. Shadow Demon's already on 758. Slark a little bit higher on just under 1,000. Bane just over 900. And the Ursa, who's abandoned at the moment, just over 1,000. So already, with just my level 1 ultimate, I can do pretty much 85% damage when you think about the reduction for magic resistance. 85% damage to certain heroes, which is just absolutely massive. And I've been caught out a little bit here and desperately trying to kill Slark and just managed to kill him. I played that fight a little bit awkward. I shouldn't be on the front lines here. I should always be standing behind the Doom, protecting the sniper. But fortunately, I took so much of their attention. Dream Coil was used on me. So many abilities were used to kill me there, and all the time, Sniper was sitting at the back, right-clicking people in the face and managed to get a kill. And again, you saw me use Finger of Death there to just try and blow up the Slark as fast as possible, and this is absolutely vital. You see so many people who play Lion and just use this to kill steal, and this is a huge, huge nuke. And when you have a nuke this large, it's important just to throw it out at the start of the fight. You see a key hero and you just immediately try and blow them up, and you've seen me do this in fights. For example, the fight under the tier 2 tower. When Slark teleported in, I immediately hexed him when he arrived, then I stunned him, and then I just ulted him. Because key heroes like that, it's absolutely vital that you just kill them as fast as possible. If I can kill a Puck, if I can kill a Slark before they've been super annoying and really hindered us in the team fight, that is absolutely massive. What you're looking to do is you're looking to pick a key hero, or if you just run into a support, just kill them immediately. Killing a hero at the start of a fight, even if it takes your entire combo, is huge. It's an absolutely massive ability. And you see I'm pushing out a little bit of a lane here. Enemies are just respawned. Our heroes are dead, and I'll probably back up at this point. There we go. Keeping it nice and safe. And scaling up, this does even more damage. It does an insane amount of damage at 850 at max level. And I've just clicked on the Slark there. 750 at level 2, which is huge. Unfortunately, the mana cost goes through the roof as well, scaling from 200 to 420 to 650, which is a astronomical amount of mana. So when you think it costs 170 mana to do your max level Earth Spike, 200 mana to do your max level Hex, and then 650 mana to do your max level Finger of Death. This is a huge amount of mana, and that's why you're always going to be struggling with mana as Lion. You know, mana drain is very useful, but don't forget that's a channeled ability. Picking up items that give you mana are very useful. So let's talk a little bit about item build, and we see, here we go, just absolutely blew that Slark up there. Bane's overstayed his welcome. He's gonna get away, and here comes the puck. He does get the Dream Coil off. I'm just waiting for Earth Spike to come off cooldown. But that was a really clutch sleep from Bane there. Earth Spike was just about to come off cooldown, but again, he couldn't save puck for too much longer. I just managed to blow him up, and Shadow Demon is still going on me here. Managed to hex him up and just run away, and I'm just fleeing for the hills. I buy out my Blink Dagger just in case I get killed, and Black Belt actually comes in with a nice Force Staff to save me. Very useful. Again, you see what I use Finger of Death for. Just kill that hero. Do not use it for kill stealing. Do not wait until a hero is on 25 HP to use your massive nuke. Just kill him. Sometimes it's actually worth just throwing a nuke out in the start of the fight anyway, because what you can do with certain players is that you can terrify them into running away. If you're on full HP and then suddenly a lion comes up, stuns you, and just immediately Finger of Deaths you, and then you run away, that's still a win in a team fight. If you can force a hero just to flee the scene and, you know, leave it a 4-on-5, that's still worth it. Don't kill steal with Assault. It's really not there for kill stealing. You know, you've got a 220 damage stun, which you can use, 260 damage, sorry. You can use that to great effect at late on to secure a kill if you have to. You know, this has a very long cooldown. It's 160 seconds at level 1, going down to only 40 at level 3, which is a big drop, but even at level 2 it's still 100 seconds. You do not want to waste this ult killing a hero who's already dead. You know, there's one thing guaranteeing a kill, you know, kill stealing when a guy's on 50 HP and is about to get right clicked down by the carry and you just blow him up with Finger of Death. That's certainly not the way to use it, but it's very, you know, it's a huge nuke. This is one of those nukes where very few heroes in the game can actually compete, and we shouldn't have fought this. I saw Scribbles running in and I'm like, yeah, I need to back up the carry here, and we actually managed to get a kill for him against Bane, but that was a 3-for-1. That's certainly not a good trade for us, and that's really bad. Overextension, you know, we've forced Ursa to rage quit. We're winning this game pretty handily. If you actually have a look at the gold graphs here, you know, with 10,000 experience up, we are 10,000 gold up. That's a pretty huge lead, and we've got Invoker and Doom and Sniper running a 3-core lineup here, pretty much just against the Slark. You know, if you look at Puck, he's a utility hero. What am I looking at here? What am I actually looking at? There we go. Actually, finally started paying attention to the fight here. You know, we're a long way ahead of this game. We got a little bit too above our station, expecting us to just be able to easily win fights, and I TP in here, very long TP to try and save the Lich, and there's no hope, absolutely no hope. But you're beginning to see just how useful Lion is. He can really hold people down a long time, and blink in, stun the Slark. Oh, it just gets away. Just gets away for the time being, but here comes the assassination, dodges it with his ultimate, and this is the part of the commentary where I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about heroes Lion is good against. And Lion is absolutely exceptional against Slark. And Slark is one of those really annoying heroes that you see a lot of at the moment. You know, he's incredibly annoying because, you know, he has Dark Pack, so he can, you know, purge a lot of slows off him, negative debuffs get purged, but more importantly, his ultimate. By clicking R, it makes him basically invulnerable from all physical damage. You can't actually target him with any unit target ability, but if you remember from the start of the video, Earth Spike is not only unit target, it's also ground target. So the great thing with this ability is you can stun Slark when he's in his ultimate form to prevent him from getting away, which is absolutely amazing. Hex as well, an instant cast ability. So you've seen I've picked up a Blink Dagger now. I can blink in and hex Slark immediately, and I think you can see this is what we're planning to do in this lane here. I think this is the part of the game, yeah, here it comes. So we decide to kill Slark here and just watch what happens. See, blink in, hex him, I hex him, and he still pounces away. How is that possible? You know, the hex went off. So I can't believe he managed to pounce there. I was so disappointed with that. I'm just like, what's happened? You know, that must have been 0.01 seconds away from stunning him, and just managed. See, he dark pacted the stun off there. This is why Slark is super, super annoying. Again, he comes in, hex him up, get the stun. I'm just right-clicking him down into the danger zone, and I just kill him. Again, just kill that guy, kill him as fast as possible. It managed to wand up, get the stun on Shadow Demon. Careful not to deny myself to neutrals. I'm just running away at this point from the illusions. Here comes the puck. You know, again, managed to keep myself alive, stunned twice, killed the Slark, and now it's time to run away. Again, very, very useful in that fight. 7, 4, and 12. I've had a very good game impact, and now I'm at the point where I am an incredibly fed support. 24 minutes in, I've already got my wand, my urn, and my blink dagger, and it's time to talk a little bit about items. Like I mentioned, Lion has a huge, huge mana requirement, so picking up things that can give him a bit of extra mana is very useful. And you see a lot of people go Tranquil Boots on Lion, and I'm not a fan of that. You know, I'm really not a fan of Tranquil Boots in general. I always prefer to go treads, and treads are really nice because they can give you a little bit of bonus int if you keep them on the int treads. You can tread switch to maximize all your abilities, and then when you're in trouble, you can go to strength treads to give you that little bit of extra HP to tank you up, and that is very, very useful. You know, it gives you all the things you need as Lion. That extra little bit of int's very nice, but it also gives you survivability. You know, I'm a much bigger fan of treads than Tranquils on Lion. You know, you can argue Tranquils. You know, Tranquils are nice. They give you a little bit of HP regen, enables you to roam more. But you know, I was involved in a lot of team fights, a lot of drawn out team fights where Tranquil Boots are really not gonna be that much use for you. They give you a little bit of extra armor, but if you have a look at the enemy team, they've got a lot of magic damage. It's nice in that situation just to have a little bit of extra raw HP, and that's what Tranquils don't give you. They give you HP regen and armor, which is good for roaming and ganking, and you know, very, very immediate engagements with a little bit of a break, then another engagement. Drawn out team fights, Tranquil Boots are terrible at, so the treads I think was a good choice in this game. After that, you know, you got your little wand, magic wand, again, useful, 3+ all attributes, gives you a nice little bit of int, gives you a little bit of strength, all useful, but more importantly, it gives you that ability to burst mana and burst heal yourself in team fights, and we see them pushing mid here, and we're just waiting for the right moment to go in. Black Belt chooses his moment, get the blink, immediately hex the Slark, stun the Slark, Slark's dead. You know, force the buyback from him, and that was very, very useful. The puck burnt his Dream Coil as well, which is absolutely fantastic, and we're still pursuing him, and he'll probably get away here, and he does. I need to follow myself in the team fight. See, there we go. Stun Slark in his ultimate form, stop him from doing too much damage. I back up a little bit just to see what's going on. Again, this sniper's already very farmed at this point. Slark, oh no, he blinks away. 2 blink aways there, which is a little bit frustrating. I should have just ulted him. But again, that's the time to ult a guy. Just ult that Slark. Why didn't I just kill him? He just bought back as well. And you can see he's already at full health. Stun the Slark. There we go. And now he dies. Finally got there. But again, you begin to see the huge amount of utility Lion gives you in a team fight. You can stun at max level, like I mentioned earlier. There's only a 12-second cooldown, so you can basically use Hex and Stun twice in a team fight. And this is what you have to do when you're playing this sort of hero. You know, a nuker, a utility-based hero, a disabler. You need to keep yourself alive in team fights for as long as possible. Because if as a Lion, you can stun people twice and hex people twice and ult a guy, you will win that team fight. Unless you are so far behind as to make no difference anymore. You will win. So having that little bit of extra mana, the burst from the magic wand is vital. Having the treads to keep you alive that a little bit extra longer is vital. And again, having that Urn of Shadows, that little bit of extra burst heal, the 50% mana regen, the 6 strength, gives you, again, more survivability, all of those good things. And Shadow Demon actually uses everything on me here, but he has to run away because there's no way he can kill me. And again, get mech'd up, cast Urn on myself. I'm already pretty much at full HP. You know, very, very easy at this point. You know, once you've got those core items, and here we go, hex up the Slark, stun the Slark down, just manages to get his ult off. You know, he cast Dark Pact, and it Dark Pacted off the stun, which is super annoying. You know, I really dislike Slark, and I just hit him with that ultimate. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too far out of range, but he still dies in the end. Yeah, Slark is so obnoxious. He's really an obnoxious hero. So having a Lion in your side to deal with him is really, really nice. And you know, you see, I would have died there if it wasn't for the power treads. If I'd have gone Tranquils over power treads, that was a fight I would have died in, because all of that extra damage would have killed me off, and my HP regen would not have saved me there, because obviously when you take damage or when you attack, the Tranquil Boot breaks, so you lose that super high mana, not mana regen, health regen, sorry. So that's a situation there where treads definitely save my bacon. But once you've gone your core, and I always like to go treads 1 turn, you know, that's very, very standard Lion for all the reasons. It gives you a bit of mana, gives you survivability, gives you a little bit of extra health, all good things. Once you've done that, Blink Dagger is such a good item. Since its mana cost has been reduced or removed completely after 6.80, Blink is just such a good item. You know, the ability, especially considering, like I mentioned, you have an instant Hex in Hex. So you can just blink hex somebody immediately, so they can go from thinking they are completely safe to all of a sudden they are boned. That's an incredibly huge ability, and that's just vitally important. So Blink Dagger's vital as well. Yeah, I've still only got a 356 move speed. Lion is not the fastest hero in the world. Having the ability to position yourself in fight, gank easier, it's super important. It's such a good item. Blink Dagger, in my opinion, is the best item in the game at the moment, because you can get it on so many heroes, and it turns, you know, slow heroes like Lion into all of a sudden amazing initiators. It's such a fantastic initiation item. And then after that, because we're so far ahead, I'm going to go for Aghanim Scepter. And Aghanim Scepter on Lion is just one of those really, really fun pub items. You know, if this was a super serious game and we were turned Roshan into a massive fish there with Hex, but if this was a super serious game and we're up against really farmed late game carries, the standard items like Ghost Scepter are very, very good. You know, Ghost Scepter on a support, especially your squishy support, is very, very nice. But you can see I'm already up to 1300 HP here with the point booster. That's a lot of health, you know. Aghanim Scepter on Lion, like I mentioned, is hilarious because it actually makes your ultimate AoE. At max level, you are doing 1025 damage on an ultimate, which is just ridiculous. And you actually hit targets in the 200 AoE, which is mental. The mana cost is still very, very high. It does decrease slightly, goes to 625, and the cooldown is 20 seconds. That's right, you heard me, 20 seconds. A 20-second cooldown on a 1250 AoE nuke. And I was just trying to keep an eye on the Slark there, because I knew he was going to come in. Just waiting for him to phase shift, and then I just decided, we'll just kill that Bane. Bane just absolutely dies there, and get the stun off on the Ursa, keep the Doom alive. And that's 4 easy kills, and this is a GG moment. We've already taken the mid lane of Rax. We're going to take bot lane now, and I was really pleased with this game. Really, really pleased, because you know, I had an impact throughout the entire game, and this is why I like Lion so, so much. I managed to pick up my Aghanim Scepter before the game ends. You know, Lion can have an impact early game. He's very, very good at roaming. He's good at lane supporting because he has all of this, you know, disable. He has one of the most terrifying nukes in the game. He can blow up a lot of heroes very, very quickly. As long as you build him right as well, he can have a massive impact in the late game. You know, Aghanim Scepter is an incredible luxury item, but that's what it is. You know, it is a luxury item. You're not going to get Aghanim Scepter all the time, and I was actually quite fortunate here that I was playing a 4th position support. We had the Lich go out and buy most of the wards, which is really, really nice, so I could be a little bit greedy than otherwise I could normally be. So that's one thing you got to pay a little bit of attention to. In the standard game, you know, where you're not up against 4 heroes after forcing one to rage quit really, really early, you know, getting an Aghanim Scepter is not likely, but there you go. Just look at the damage. Look at the damage there. Absolutely huge. And just about to win the game now. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I do recommend trying Lion out. You know, Lion is just a super useful hero. He's really, really forgiving as well, because if you find yourself a little bit out of position, you've always got a few disables and a big nuke to save you. So nice. He's very, very good at roaming. He's good at team fighting. He can support carries. He can disable. He can fight. He's super versatile. He's very, very useful, and he's incredibly fun to play. It's just so fun to every now and again just to blow a guy up for no reason. So guys, thank you so much for watching the video. As always, really hope you've enjoyed it, and have a great day.